Welcome everybody to Toon Talk 2.0.
Tune Talk 2.0. Welcome, everyone. How are
I'm
you, Jake?
I'm so tired, dude. So tired. But I'm coming off probably the best sparring session I had in my life last night. So it's a good
That's
tired.
how you. That's how you call sex nowadays.
No, totally unrelated cardio.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if. Oh, you mean sparring, not spandex? Sorry, my mind is nasty by nature. Spanking. I confused my English. Sorry, me no hablo inglés.
No, I'm not a naturally good fighter, but I don't know. Last night I was on it. Um, even got taken to the ground and got out of it and locked in a rear naked choke, which my ground game is worse than my stand up game. So
So I just want to clarify for the people, not for me. Are you sure you're not talking about 36, man?
yeah, no,
Because
different.
every word that came from your mind, from your mouth,
It,
sound like sex.
yeah, I can see how rear naked choke. I was not nude.
Okay. Was he?
He was not.
Okay, good. So,
I
but
was.
anyway, I know you trained Krav Maga, right? Krav
Yep.
Maga.
Yep.
That's tough, man. You want to share something about that a little bit? Go on.
Oh, Krav Maga. You have to kind of be careful though because technically there's only one legitimate organization in the world that is like proper Krav Maga, and then everybody else is now. Some of those systems came from Krav Maga worldwide, so they might be legitimate. Like they might be legitimately good, but if it's not affiliated with Krav Maga worldwide, you just kind of have to judge it. All of my instructors
Yeah,
are
because
Oh, go ahead.
no, sorry, I was gonna ask you. Is the Israeli, right?
Yes.
Military technique. Yeah.
Yep. It was actually created for the Israeli Defense Force in its sort of current structured form. It was invented by a guy named Lichtenfeld or Feld. I can't remember Lichtenfeld. During the 30s, he was a Hungarian Jewish man who had experience boxing and wrestling, and he used it to basically to protect himself and other people from various, not always directly the Nazis, but like groups, just people that were trying to mess with Jews.
I
Um,
got a, I got a question for you. Can you say the name of the creator three times in a row? I'm
e-
there. I dare you right now.
Emi Lichtenfeld, Emi Lichtenfeld, Emi Lichtenfeld.
Okay. I don't know. Something is weird with my mind. That sounds sexual to me too. I don't know. I have a mental dysfunction today.
I
I,
mean,
I must confess,
I
I'm a
mean,
little tired as well.
he did choke people, so that's a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But then his exploits were kind of well known, and then after the formation of the nation state of Israel, which he moved to after the war in the late 40s, he was basically tapped to train what would become, or to help train what would become the Israeli Defense Force, and they use the system to this day.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, obviously,
That's.
the kind that they teach civilians is a little bit watered down, but not much, honestly.
I remember. I never been the kind of training fight. I play football, as you know, and basketball, and football was the most aggressive thing for me, and that was more than enough. But when I try, I got a couple of friends that try Krav Maga. They try. What is the name of the Brazilian one?
Uh, Capoeira, or are you talking jujitsu?
Capoeira, no capoeira and jiu-jitsu. Well, jiu-jitsu is a mix from Japan and Brazil. But yeah, capoeira, and I never get the grip of it, man. I'm not. It's not my thing, right? I'm like Indiana Jones in the Temple of the Doom when the guy threw the sword. I'm just gonna like,
But
that's it.
but you know what though? That's Krav Maga. Because
What the which
any
one?
Indiana Jones, because any legit like Krav Maga practitioner would be like, if you have a gun, why are you fighting him?
Yeah, I feel you. I saw a thing in YouTube so many years ago that the guy is sitting on a chair and they attack him, and the way that he uses the chair and his balance sit down to disarm the other person, he got one in the front and the back. It was really impressive. I hope you can do that so when we travel together, you can take care of business.
One thing that Krav Maga will do is it makes you really aware of how vulnerable you actually are, And the scary fact is a lot of times there's nothing you can do about it. So Krav Maga has a philosophy of we train at a deficit. So the first thing to do in any class, especially in the first level, is they wear you out. Like they make you tired for the first 10, 15 minutes. And then you
So
start
this will be
training.
the perfect art, if you may say, or sport for the American economy. It's perfect. You're where you out. You're working extra time. We're not in a first world anymore. Now you go and train Krav Maga. Hey, we should throw that to Biden for the system. I'm gonna not gonna talk politics. Believe it or not, we have a lot of following in the last one, thanks to politics. I actually got great reviews saying thank you, you guys, and thank you for the person that said it. Thank you, you guys, for telling the truth. The truth hurts, but thank you for got the guts to 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 tell the truth. That was the first comment, and a comment underneath said, "I hope you have your papers." I didn't get that one. Anyway, this was a pre-introduction to the introduction. Welcome to Toon Talk 2.0. You know me and Virus Vox. Jake over there, he's the real host. I'm just a co-host.
I
I'm
don't
like the
I don't
sidekick.
I never really consider myself the host. I'm just kind of I'm the commentary.
I'm gonna ask you how a virus can be the host. Come on, dude.
You're the rock
Wake up.
star.
I'm the virus. You're the host. You see chemistry? Forget about it, man.
Okay,
And three
okay.
hours later, I can be the host and the virus. You need to watch more movies, bro. Please. We have an interesting twist for the show today. We're gonna start getting guests that we're gonna come just for little segments, and we need you. We have one segment that we jump into the name, and I'm gonna explain a little bit what it's about. It's called Surviving Hollywood. So we're gonna talk to a lot of people that they've been hustling and hustling and finding the way to make it their dream come true in one of the toughest entertainment cities in the world. So if you guys want to be in the show, I don't care if you have one movie, one commercial, right? You don't have an age, just put your comment over there. We will contact you. I will figure things out. The first guest is going to be next week, right? And we're working in somebody really special that is really famous. That when I show it to Jake, he will like, oh shit. Remember, I sent you
Uh,
the picture. I'm not going to say that until we have a
Okay.
confirmation. And the other segment, we need your help to name it. Because the other segment is people that actually are doing the job, trying to get out there, trying to get recognition. So we're going to have this small 20-minute segment of people that want to do it, right? That are going to talk about their project, what they're looking up. I'm tired, and here we go. I was tired physically, but as soon as I start talking, I'm tired that you need to be famous, recognized, to have a space somewhere. I don't think it's fair because that's the whole point of the internet. If you have the will, we find the way.
It's so funny
Thank
you
you.
mentioned that because I was having that feeling today. I don't I don't enjoy getting into comments fights, but when you're a content creator, especially if you talk about politics, it's going to happen. So I just not even what time is it? Like 2 hours ago, give or take, posted one of our videos to TikTok, and it's basically talking about how Bernie Sanders is out of touch with reality because he spends literal decades. Billionaires are immoral. No one should have that kind of money. But then he gets millions, and now all of a sudden it's billionaires that are the real evil. And I called him out in 2016 when after he sold out and left the Democratic race and didn't
Yeah.
fight, he bought a third house. And I'm just like, how can you like I first of all, so some clarification. I don't give a single shit if Bernie Sanders makes $20 billion. I don't care. If he makes it from book sales, great. Good on him. Nobody would know who he is if he wasn't in Congress, but I
Yeah.
digress. My issue is that when somebody spends their entire career saying that people who have a lot of money are inherently immoral, and then you get a lot of money, and then you justify because I worked very hard. Bro, you really you think Jeff Bezos didn't work hard? You think Elon Musk didn't work hard? You think Bill Gates didn't work hard? Shut
Well,
up.
let's talk about the Bill Gates copy really hard, but let's not go into
Okay,
that.
fair enough, fair enough. Okay, Bill Gates, I'll give you that.
But I know I was just being funny, trying to be funny. But you're right. The Bernie Sanders situation is he's a joke, man. I mean, and it's bad because last week when we're talking about politics, you say I would love to see Bernie Sanders win, but then this happens again, and it's freaking annoying. It's remember you say that? I hate you to say that because you say that. I don't
No,
know. We were putting examples or something like that.
what I had said is that I think that if Bernie Sanders had won the primary in 2016,
There you go. There you go.
I
He
think
will
he
be a
would
contender.
more than Hillary Clinton, much more than Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, that's what you said. But what I'm saying is, it's discouraging that we go again to the same rabbit hole. That reminds me something awesome, right? I didn't say again. What is wrong with you?
Yes, you did.
That reminds me something awesome.
Which is
Again. Sorry. um, the people that follow us all the time will understand that joke, and I will hope that somebody around the world, just once, create a drinking game based in every time we say again. Sorry. That would be amazing. Do you remember that fantastic show, 2000, How I Met Your Mother?
love how I. Funny story about how I met your mother. I resisted it for years, for literal years. I don't think I started watching it until 2008, and it ended in 2009. And
Yeah.
this is funny because we kept I kept hearing oh, you got to watch this show. It's great. It's great. It's great. So my then I think she was my girlfriend or I don't remember when we started watching. But anyway, my paramour at the time, and I started watching it, and we were just super bored. We were out of TV to watch, so we forced ourselves to watch it, and it was kind of eh. But then the Liberty Bell episode, which I think is episode 3 or 4,
Yeah.
I finally got what the show, and the show kind of found its footing. Because if you watch the first 2 episodes, it's kind of generic sitcom, but then it really finds its stride and its humor.
I will tell my yeah. Go on. Yeah, I know. I'm agree with you.
And it's it's one of my rotation night shows because I can't fall asleep with dead silence unless I'm just dead to the world. So it's something I can have on in the background and not watch it. But there are certain episodes that are just highlights, and even if I'm not even watching it, but I'm hearing it, there are still moments where I'm just like,
That's funny. Let me tell you something about. First of all, many of the friends told me that I should sue the show because the Barnacle. Oh shit, that's just an American version of me, dude. I used to play games when I was way younger than that. That I go to bars and pretend to be somebody else just for the fun of it. And there's an episode, The Matterhorn. I did that before the show.
you pulled
I
off.
hired somebody to have 3 websites that it says that I was awesome, and I did it. I got this. In that time, I was playing with a band named Go, and Tony, the guitar player, called me and told me, "Man, they stole your life because I did the Matterhorn." What a beautiful moment.
You pulled off the Lorenzo von
Oh,
Matterhorn.
totally, but not once, not twice, dude. It's like it's many more.
Did you
Lorenzo
have?
von Matterhorn.
But did you have to fake your death in a balloon accident?
No. That was the first part.
Just the
I
first
did
one.
the you know me, the exactly like that, right? Like stop, because I was a famous singer at that point. So I used that to confuse them. I said, no, it's not me. They told me all the time it looks like me. No, I'm a business person, right? So it was crazy. It was crazy, and that show, more than the jokes, more than the empathy and the love that the show you. And you're right. Episode 3, you know what? It became famous, right? Because Dougie Hauser became the Barnacle, and it became his show.
Oh yeah.
So now the show was Barney. The show I surrounded for a beautiful thing, right? Uh,
I gotta say though, my favorite one of the playbook was Old Man Barney.
oh my, and the girl that they put in the right. I don't know who she is, but thank you for existing. It was really hot.
Hey, they gave Danica McKellar a couple guest spots, one of which is my favorite episode, or one of my
Which
favorite
one?
episodes. The pineapple, the what did they
The
call it?
pineapple. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, the pineapple. That the name is the pineapple.
Oh
That they
yeah,
don't.
that's the name of the episode. Yeah.
Uh,
So funny.
Actually, I became a really and funny story that you mentioned. I never watched the first 3 4 seasons, and then I have this friend called Spider. He's a hip hop artist in Mexico, and he's like, you know, the flat hat on the side, tattoos, always walking with swag. You're like, what's up? And he's always hip hopping, and he was he is a really cool guy. Hello, Spider. We haven't talked in years, but I never imagined that he told. We were in the house watching Entourage. Remember Entourage from HBO? That was a dream. And we run out of episodes, and so let's watch How I Met Your Mother. And everyone's like, because we have this crib with a huge movie theater, right? And yeah, whatever, dude. We spend the whole night ordering pizza, just watching episode after episode. And I'm talking when the episodes were on a DVD. We bought the DVDs. So it's a really good show. I don't remember what I'm talking about. How I Met Your Mother. This happened in the podcast a lot of people. I get lost. And if I remember the name of the show will be a miracle. I always ask Jake. Jake has the answer, and then I can talk about it. That's just me. But How I Met Your Mother was an amazing show. Like I said, Barney was extremely funny. The way that they represent the dating, right, is so funny. Robin, well, now we see her as what's her name? Hill. You see, I need to ask. Hill, from the Avengers.
I don't remember her character name. I just know it's Colby Smulders.
Yeah, well, exactly. How you cannot remember her, right? The name,
Uh,
she's the second in command. Something Hill. I'm something Hill. I'm pretty sure it's Hill. I don't remember Mary any Anna Hill or Mary Hill. She's the second in command after Fury.
yep. I gotta
And
say,
they done
kind
that because they
yeah, hot take
go
though.
ahead.
I didn't find Colby Smulders particular like she was funny, and I mean she's not ugly, but she's not my type.
I think she's really pretty in the face, really pretty, but she's not super hot. And it was more. I never see an actress like that. To be honest with you, what I see is the character. I might like or not the character. I like Robin. Robin was hot. Robin was funny. Kobe Smulders is disappeared for me. If you put Kobe, I will just not even know. But Robin, that was funny, and they did a remake. You know that? How I Met
How I
Your
Met Father.
Father.
I watched the first episode. Wasn't a fan.
I didn't want to do it. I think that there's things that they're not. It's too soon to touch. It's like if we
It's
do a Lost Boys again. Right now,
well,
it's too soon.
How I Met Your Mother just as a concept is something that like once you replicate it's not going to live up to the original. So it's kind of like what they did with that '90s show. Now in that case, it's like there's beauty in the attempt, but you're never going to replicate that '70s show. So I would say why bother?
I know, but you know what? That 90s show has something unique. They're their sons.
And that's because they learned their lesson with that '80s show because that's the only
Oh,
reason.
hold a second. There was an 80s show?
Yeah, it didn't even last a full single season. But that '80s show made the mistake that that '90s show learned from, which was so that '70s show was a timeless show that just happened to take place in the 1970s, and the show creators said multiple times, what we don't want to make a show about the '70s. We want to make a show that people of this generation can identify with, but it just happens to take place in the '70s. Whereas that '80s show became all about just the decade and callback to '80s references and humor, but that '90s show, honestly, I feel like they didn't lean into the '90s enough because
Yeah.
it was all about the characters, which is fine. It's a continuation of the form and family and their ancillary connections, but like that '90s show should have been for you and me what that 70s show was for like my parents.
No, I get it. I get it. Now let me tell you that my girlfriend, she has a daughter that is like a daughter to me, and she watched that 90s show and she loved it. Now, I told her it's a remake of the 70s shows, and funny fact, she tried to watch that 70s show, she couldn't hold it. So, uh, kudos for the people that give it a shot. I think the when you see the character of what is with me today? God knows I never remember the name. The guy that is married with Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
I don't know what I gotta do that. When his character appears that's fantastic. It's fantastic. Now, why you and me have this particular thing, and the people that listen to us, we always find a way. Because the first topic that we've been avoiding, even right, is talking about the entertainment and how is the whole show. Our show is about how entertainment affects life and how life is being affected by entertainment. If I'm correct, and I don't know how we get here, but Danny Masterson, please.
Oh boy.
I don't know how we got here. It wasn't planned, but this is what the show is about.
But
I need you to
everything's
know.
everything's connected.
I know because we see it like that. But go ahead, uh, because I got my view, and God knows I'm gonna talk a lot. So please go ahead, Jake.
With things like this, I always lead off with I wasn't there. I don't know any of the people personally. I can only go based upon what was said and put out in the media. Honestly, on this one, I just don't know enough about it to conclusively. We know that he was convicted, and God, what's his sentence? I can't remember. It's like
25.
25 years.
So let me tell you my perspective. First of all, any person that takes the opportunity to hurt somebody in any way is wrong. Call it murder, rape, any criminal matter is wrong. So I already say that. I'm going to talk about my perspective in the case and the connection with the religion that he was. Because I think for me, that's the Scientology, that's the cue. If any Scientology is watching this, well, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here because you're not supposed to. But just not supposed to start. You're fucking it up. Um, he was with Scientology. This is what I read of the scripts of the audiences and everything, because God knows I can go hard when I go into the rabbit hole. He was accused by 3 rapes, one of an ex-girlfriend, and 2 of a situation with separation, a lot of separation. They were not related. Even so, they both were from the family of Scientology, and they took 20 years to come forward, or I don't know, 20, 10 years, something like that, to come forward because they were told in the Scientology, do not. You are not allowed to say anything. He's one of the selected. We're a family. We deal with this internally. So my question is, not my question, my prerogative. I don't even know if that what that means, but I always want to say it. Now, my point is, in the moment that he decided to leave the church, automatically is when this falls to places. If that's because it wasn't protected by the church, that could be. If this was initiated by the ex-girlfriend that she said that it was rape, that by the way, they didn't convict him on that. They proved that it wasn't rape. Of the 3 ones, the one that it was the ex-girlfriend, it wasn't rape. The judge says, "What the hell are you doing here?" But then I'm gonna ask this: if he did it or not, that's between him and God, man. Right? Not my problem. If somebody got hurt, I'm so sorry for the victims. But why? Why is always a wannabe actress that is the one damaged? And when they couldn't make it in the industry, they complain about that. Why? I haven't, because even the Harry Weinstein, the Salma Hayek didn't stick. The Gwyneth Paltrow didn't stick. It was just a little note that was unconscious of the resolution. But Harvey Weinstein was a pig, and everybody knows that. But in a personal way, I hate Dan Madison, whatever his name is, because he ruined the ranch for me.
I was just
One of
gonna
my
say
favorite
that.
shows. He ruined it for me. When Rooster died in the show, I cry. Somebody fuck it up and nobody has watched it. Sorry, but he's in jail and you will hate it from the get go. That show is probably gonna take it out from Netflix. Even the production took her. And I don't know if he did it or not. I think that the punishment was too strong because if you go into the law, rape is one thing, sexual misbehavior is another thing, and sexual misconduct is a different thing. So I'm asking to the audience and to you, um, the name of this hip hop party, Tekashi 69. Tekashi 69 had a video of him having sex with a minor, a video of him having sex with a minor, here, naked, touching her, and he was just accused of sexual misbehavior. And he was out. He went to jail and for something else, not for that. For that he went to court. They slapped his hand and they walked. I think that this is good that they using. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. I really love our podcast, but it's not fair that when somebody become that famous is used as an example. He deserved to be in jail, yes. He deserved to get punished for the crime that he committed, yes. But 25 years, man, is absurd because it never was it was just a hearsay he said all the time. Not even one proof, not even one rape kit, not even nothing. I'm not defending him. Again, if he do it, fuck Dan, go to hell. But I think the situation with the Scientology affected more than we think because the power of the Scientology in Hollywood is big, big.
Oh, you can't deny it. Like, and I mean, Leah Remini and a few other people blew the lid off of that with that. What was it called? Going Clear, that documentary when she left and was
Yeah,
talking about all the stuff that they take care of internally.
yeah. So they will protect you even you're a criminal, but when you don't follow their goals, they will throw you to the lions.
Well, and even
That
the
sounds like
stuff,
a good religion.
yeah. Well, and even the stuff that's not really illegal, but just kind of dicey ethically. Like you hear the accounts of how Katie Holmes was like brought before Tom Cruise, and it's kind of like that seems a little like I'm not saying it's trafficking, but it kind of feels like it.
And
Like,
that's not my point. Forget about the Dan Masterson thing. If the guy didn't fuck him, if he didn't do it, well, he's fucked. So it's not my problem anymore. I'm sorry for the victims. I don't want to tip that. But what you're saying is more important than the Dan Masterson. Are we allowing as a society that this religion cult is taking matter in their hands? That was exactly the opposite that we believe in this country.
well, but to be
Yeah.
fair, we let the Catholic Church get away with it too.
And even I got something really good. My point is like it's weird, it's complicated. I feel bad for the women that were affected and for the wife and his kids, man, because we know that she's gonna get divorced really soon. And I know that at this point, he's reading a lot, he's waking up early, having a good diet, and he's having sex at least 2 or 3 times a week. So thank you. Let's go to the next topic. Last week, because you guys see this a week after, happy birthday, Batman.
Yes,
Do you know
sir.
that?
Yep.
What you did for the Batman Day? Tell me, because I did something fantastic.
I didn't do anything for the Batman Day except stand up for justice and fought for the little man.
You know what? That's your show today. I'm done for today. I thought it was something cool to say. You destroyed it. Um, as everybody knows, because you see the background, I'm traveling, and this is not a picture. It's actually a room. uh, I should take a picture of this and travel with it everywhere.
There you go.
Anyway, so in the area that I am, AMC theaters, that I want to talk about the AMC theaters stock market, really interesting and important. Remind me, hopefully, we remember about it. They did the Batman Day and they put every Batman movie from 11 a.m. till the day of they close. And they sold really fast. And I got my membership, so I reserved The Dark Knight Rises, and I took my 84-year-old mom in a doubly HD sound that it was like having a orgasm of sound. Seriously, and for the first time in my life, 12 years ago, my life was complicated. So I watched it, but I didn't enjoy it. Actually, I didn't like it. I was so much in the dark. It was Batman Begins. Then what was the second one? The Dark
The
Knight.
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. I loved it, but when I said Dark Knight Rises, my life was complicated in that time. It was Dead in the Family. Not I'm not talking the show, the book Dead in the Family. I'm talking in my personal family. Dead in the Family, moving to America. So when I watched the movie, obviously my English is not perfect, but 12 years ago it was worse. So when I went to watch it, probably the sound wasn't right, my mind wasn't set. So when I arrived to the movie and I heard the voice of Bane in those speakers 5.1, and maybe you're gonna hate me for this, a lot of people, but I feel the same effect that when I watched Darth Vader for the first time in my life. The voice, the what are you doing here? Like this Scooby Doo raw thing.
The secret is you needed to be in the dark.
but the I could feel the breathing, and I enjoyed so much. So thank you, Christopher Nolan.
Was it? Was
It's
it?
hard.
Did you see it in Dolby?
Yeah, in Doobie, in Doobie.
Dude, I'm a Dolby snob, man. If I,
Um,
dude, I
what?
love telling the
Keep
story.
going, keep going. Cause I
Did
got a
you?
joke from there, but I don't remember. Keep going.
There are two kind of mixed in. The first movie I ever saw in Dolby Surround was actually 1917. Did you see it?
19 such. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
okay, this is hilarious. So 1970 is one of my favorite movies ever. But if you've never experienced Dolby in AMC, what it is it's actual. The best way I can describe it is how they do. It's sound that moves. So where you're sitting can actually determine how you, because you'll hear everything, but how you hear it. So there's a scene in the movie where somebody is shooting at
And you
our
heard the
dude. I heard it from behind me, and I went, because you can't help it, man. I wasn't expecting it. And then the second movie I watched in Dolby was Brightburn. Did you see that one?
Oh yeah, of course.
Dude, when the kid, no spoilers, because if you haven't seen Brightburn you should, but
That
when the kid bashes through the house and takes out the cop, dude, the sound moved with the kid. It was wild.
it was a really good. Now I remember the joke. I didn't remember the movie, the documentary. Remember what is the name? Spinal Tap
Oh
in
yeah, yeah.
Doobie. Yeah,
Ooh.
that's the. So no, but what I that she said that it's in Doobie instead of Dolby.
Oh,
Uh, she says in Doobie. That's what I. So I watched it. It was fantastic, and I'm the kind of guy. I'm allergic to a lot of things, so I don't eat gluten because I get horny and stupid. Not in a horny way, like no. I just my brain gets cloud, and I don't eat lactose because I'm lactose
ooh,
allergic to lactose.
ooh. I wouldn't.
So
You. I wouldn't have said horny.
no, it's not horny. Yeah, yeah. I get stupid. It's like I don't. I
You
buy
get
things that
you get like a brain fog.
cloudy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so everything I don't do shit. Dude. I was with my mom, 82, 4 years old. Right? It's not about that, but uh, and I don't eat lactose because I'm allergic to lactose. I'm not intolerant. I don't fart. I'm allergic to, so I get sleepy. However, as I can buy anything in the movie theater, I take things with me, and that's what I have at stock market in the AMC, so they can suck my little pride, right? So I got this backpack with my lactose-free chocolate ice cream, right? I got my uh, organic fries. I got my water, and I enjoy so much to have a bowl, from the packet, the chocolate from the
Hmm.
bowl, with eating, watching Batman. Thank you, Batman, Jack Kirby. You ruled. It was a really good experience that I'm gonna carry all my life because. watching Batman with your mom, and she loves that. Obviously, I come from some place. We watch around 5 movies per week when I'm visiting her per week, and sincerely, she's a
You know what though?
fan of.
What's really funny is yeah, it was the first movie that I took my girlfriend to see, and my girlfriend doesn't speak hardly any English. She understands more than she speaks, but like not enough to understand a movie. And we went and saw.
The Lord of the Rings. She loved it.
No, that's coming. And I warned her. I said that's your final test is watching
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. But no, we watched Guy Ritchie's. Damn it! What was the
Rock
name?
and rolla.
No. The starts with an R. Damn. Jake
Rock and
Gyllenhaal.
rolla.
Nope.
Two barrels. I can just go with Guys Ritchie movies.
The
Um,
Covenant. The Covenant.
The Covenant. How is it?
Super. Oh, dude, it's so good.
Wait. Remind me a little bit without spoiling it, because I think I saw it.
So it's Jake Gyllenhaal plays a I can't remember if he's a Marine or a Green Beret. I think he's a Green Beret. Stationed in Afghanistan, and his unit has an interpreter. The interpreter ends up saving his life.
Oh, fantastic!
So
Fantastic
good,
movie. Oh, so good. When he goes back, oh my, yeah.
so good.
Fantastic movie.
But
I
this
watched it
is
twice.
but this is how good that movie is. My girlfriend, who doesn't speak English, not only understood everything that was
Farsi?
happening. No, she
You
doesn't speak
understand
Farsi.
Farsi?
No. But not only, and actually that would have been posh too. But she,
Excuse me, Mr. Atlas.
hey man,
Excuse me for your
you can't go speaking Farsi in Afghanistan. They'll fucking shoot your ass.
I mean,
Anyway,
you could.
you
If your
could,
girlfriend watch a movie and understand it, I can do that.
but
Anyway, sorry.
not only did she like the movie, she understood what the movie was. She didn't get every word, but the movie is constructed in such a way, and to me, that's what makes a really good movie. Because I've seen movies that were in Spanish first. Like I watched Spider-Man Far From Home and Toy Story 4 the first times completely in Spanish.
Why you do that?
I was in Mexico.
Okay, yeah, well.
I didn't have
So
a choice.
so there's movies in English for normal people.
I was the
You were in
only.
Michoacan.
Yeah, I was in
You were in
Michoacan.
Michoacan. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the city they. You know what you need to watch in Spanish? For the people that are uh, American or whatever in the world and wanna learn Spanish, Shrek.
I was
Shrek
just
in
gonna
Spanish
ask you.
is really good
I've been told Shrek is funnier in Spanish than it is in English.
because, well, it's hard because this is gonna go hard. Eddie Murphy is Donkey, right?
Yeah.
In Spanish, it's Eugenio Derbez. That now he's famous in America. But for the time that he did Donkey, he already was a legend in Mexico. So he had used a lot of slangs and memories from his. Eugenio Derbez had a show called Derbez en Cuando, that this means like once so often with his last name, that it was like, oh my God, what is wrong with my brain? I apologize. Uh, Chappelle. That was like the Chappelle show. So it was known so much. So he threw jokes in there and he put the Mexican flavor with the dragon, right? So it was for somebody that is learning Spanish, you gotta watch it, you gotta try it, right? And nowadays you can just press a button. You don't have to go and buy it specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, people should try. I don't know how we finished with Shrek after talking about the ranch, and we started with with How I Met Your Mother, but I love it.
Well, I guess the point is that there are some aspects of entertainment that will be original, but there's a lot of it that's universal. That's why, you know, foreign films are much more prevalent in the United States today than they've ever been because people aren't scared of subtitles now. You know.
Yeah, but you know what? And I love something that happened. Technology, sometimes we have a lot of improvements and we don't know. But back in the day, 15 years ago, when they put subtitles in Spanish, it wasn't the subtitles. Actually, 15 years ago, it was a whole screen that becomes make it darker. So movies outside the States used to be darker. So imagine for a director that spent, you see, that spent $200 million to make the perfect movie, that in Latin America was dark. Not too much, but for the eye of the beholder, not for the eye of the person that is a fan of movies like myself and director and everything. When I came to the States and watched the first movie, well, I came several times to watch a movie, but when I started watching it regular, it was such a beautiful thing, man. The movie shined. It was a silver screen, not a freaking black screen. No racist. It wasn't racist. I promise it wasn't. Um, 5 minutes and we're gonna have our guests.
Ooh.
So be ready. Name is Dan. He is a singer-songwriter. I think that he's a guy that reminds me a lot Billy Joel when he started. Not Billy Joel from Green Day, okay?
No, 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 no,
Let's
no.
clarify
The
that.
real Billy
Like
Joel.
the real Billy Joel, because this kid goes with his piano like back in the day, and he's playing in New Jersey right now, in Philadelphia, sorry. He goes to and play and sing his own songs. And when I saw him, I'm like, huh, he got something there. He's just starting, but I think that with the right support, he can do something good. So
Hey, I
if you
gotta.
guys,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, sorry, if you guys know people in the industry, or you have the plug, or you wanna invest in his career, fuck you. Better invest in Again and Forever. But you're gonna enjoy. By the way, let me go to that before we got him. Again, it's not again anymore. For all the fans, we changed the name of the band to Again and Forever. If you go to our social media, it used to be Again Rock Band. Now it's Again and Forever. And you know what? I didn't know that, but in TikTok, when you're talking Again Rock Band, it didn't fit, but Again and Forever fit perfectly when you're in the comments. I'm really grateful. I never went into a battle of friendship. Have you seen that? The battles of friendship in
Mm-mm.
TikTok? I make 200 followers in 20 minutes, less, 10 minutes. This amazing person that I will look for the name, so Nina can put it here. What she does, she goes there and says, you know what? Just follow my lead for an hour. Follow my lead, and you will get a lot. I go like, whatever, right? Bullshit. So she says, select somebody in the tabs, make a partner, follow and share their name. And that person, when she sees your name, need to add you back. Go. And she start counting. 30 seconds and start counting. It's like rest, reset yourself. 20 seconds of tapping. The woman make 40,000 likes in 10 minutes. She's doing her job. He's doing it for herself. She's like, this is not for now 5 seconds of gifts. Whoever that want to give gifts. If you don't want to give, it's okay, right? Now, 5 seconds of shares. And she make it fun. So it was like playing a game. And she got gifts. I got like 250, 300 followers. And it was really fun. So we will put the name of her here and figure it out. I think you will know when we have Dan on the line, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be the first guest like this. Do you have another name that pre-cook
I
before
kind of
famous?
I kind of like pre-cooked.
I like pre-cook too.
I kind of like
It's funny.
pre-cooked.
Okay,
It sounds
as always
sex.
in this podcast.
It sounds sexier than defrost.
Yeah. Pre-cook for our first segment of pre-cook. Will make a super cool thing for you guys to see pre-cook. And you know what? I want to open another segment, and I want to talk to you about it. We should find people that look like somebody,
Oh, that's awesome.
like almost famous. That's the name of it, almost famous. So we got a interpreter or whatever you call it, how you call it in English, when they look like Kurt Cobain
Yeah.
and they come and talk like Kurt Cobain. I think that would be great. If you guys want the idea, right? You like the idea? Just put in the comments. We're growing really fast. We're having amazing ideas for you, for the followers. Uh, Even if it's just your girlfriend and mine, we love you. Thank you. Um, does your girlfriend watch the show?
Not really, because she wouldn't understand it.
Ah, como chingados, no, claro que lo va a entender. Sí, she would. Yeah, my girlfriend either. So,
Pues ahora
uh,
mismo, ella
there
entiende.
you go. There you go. You see, I don't know. She's fixated with Latinos. I don't trust Latinos. I'm kidding, of course. So,
She sent
are we
me,
ready then?
yeah, she sent me a TikTok the other day. It was this, de un pinche gringo con una novia latina. And
Hmm.
he was basically saying in Spanish, it's like
I know what it says.
it's a gringos. If you don't have a Latina in your kitchen, you're missing out. And she sent me that, and I'm like, pero tengo una Latina. And she
That's
just
really funny.
laughed her ass off, and I'm like, why'd you send me that? I'm already in the club.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So, where's she from? Mexico?
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Cool. Good revolution over there all the time. Good fighters. You know what? I know. I know. I'm an asshole. Um, but meanwhile, Dan comes and gets ready for this. Why don't we jump into a little side topic of this? Meanwhile, he's ready. I want the people to be more involved, Jake. So, what about we make a contest for the people?
Love a contest.
Okay, so what about I don't know. You make the contest. I take care of the price.
I think free T-shirts are always nice.
From what band will she do that? Maybe Again and Forever. Yeah.
Perhaps, but I will also, I will contribute and throw in. It's not as cool as Against T-shirt, but I will give them a choice of, because we actually have a pretty sick Arte Media T-shirt that's like a, what do you call that when the graphics on the entire shirt? It's not just a logo. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. A
it's
full.
yeah, a full tee. It's pretty sick, and we've got Average Intelligence podcast shirts.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, throw that shit.
Yeah.
Forget about our podcast. We're done.
Now I'll throw one in along with an Again shirt.
No, no. About what? And we have our guest, Jake. Please.
Everyone, this is Dan, who I've never met before, so I'm not sure why I'm introducing him. But
Thank you, Jake.
Because you guys are
Never met you either,
American and you don't trust me.
now.
Sorry. Now. So, Dan, let me tell you the story about Dan. I call him the boy wonder. I'm not gonna tap a lot into that, but he contacted me a long time ago, well, like 2 years ago, just after COVID, from nowhere. The guy contacted me from nowhere through LinkedIn. And he got this ability to tell me, you know what, I just need $2.5 million for a TV show. Just like that. With no decency, right? But with the whole heart and the whole power, right? He sent me the project. It wasn't for me. It wasn't a sitcom for Asians in LA, some shit like that. Not my thing. But he actually accomplished the goal and he made the whole production get the freaking money. So we became friends because I was really impressed of that, right? There's days in my life that I don't make $2.5 million. So,
God,
um,
what's that like?
Some days.
I don't know, man. It's some. Oh, let me remind you before we jump into them, because of course I'm gonna do this. Have you guys seen the woman in TikTok that is a multimillionaire that says, "Have you ever had one of those days that are just so sad and you need to take your helicopter to go shopping?" Oh my God, I'm gonna invite you. There's not an easy person to troll in the world. I mean, you see the comments and you go funny because the woman actually thinks that it's hard living like that when she's throwing money everywhere. But anyway, let's go back to our guest. Dan, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you, Max, and nice to meet you, Jake. I'm Dan. I'm a dork who likes to play piano. That's about it. Yeah, no, I connected with Max, yeah, shortly after COVID, and it was love at first sight, really, it was. He actually brought me in on a project that we grinded on that thing for a little bit, but better things were calling. I'll just leave it at that. And here we are now, and our Mount Everest is still ahead of us.
Yeah, look at that. You see, tell you he got something. So
I
why don't
was
you tell
I
us a little bit
was
about your?
I was entranced.
I
Good.
know, right? He got this
That's
voice. I don't know. She should do audiobooks. Maybe that's your future.
maybe. I'm like that snake
Uh,
from Jungle Book, you know?
You know
there
who
you
he
go.
Where it's at.
you know who he sounds like? He sounds like Justin Chatwin.
Could be. Could be.
I just
Yeah.
watched an episode of Shameless before we went on, so it's fresh in my mind.
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever gotten that I sound like someone. I always look like John Cusack, though, but like a lot uglier.
Yeah, you're
A much
John
uglier
Cusack,
John Cusack. I'm
but
like,
you right now
I'll
you did
take
the
that.
high tone. Right now you did the high tone like Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know what one.
All right, okay. I don't appreciate that, Max.
What's the deal with John Cusack?
You gotta
Everybody,
appreciate that. The guy's the richest comedian in the world. You gotta give him
No,
that.
I respect him. No, I was kidding.
no, I want people in the comments to tell me if I'm right or if I'm crazy because I hear Justin
You are
Chatwin.
crazy.
Okay,
You
fair
are
enough.
right, but you are crazy.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, why not both?
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your singing career?
um, Man, that started in the shower when I was 12.
Oh,
Wasn't selling.
we're talking about singing, not masturbate. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I was gonna say this. The singing that didn't sell tickets when I was in the shower, unfortunately. Well, I guess luckily. It could now, but not yet. But actually, it did. The only person who bought one was Max. Jake, I'll reserve
Oh
one.
shit, dude.
Jake, I'll reserve
People,
one for you too.
yeah.
No, I
Keep going.
I started performance pretty young in choir as a little Catholic schoolboy. Did theater throughout school, but I actually didn't get too serious about music until college. After I really discovered the masters like Billy Joel, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, and yeah, it started as me playing piano, singing, even DJing a little bit on the side. Just really started as a way to make some money and pay the bills, but something about it, whether it's the people I connected with or just having a night where I just feel really on, it seemed like the universe was kind of pushing me in this direction to just keep going down this path and exploring it. And that's where I am now. And I have the best feeling I could possibly have about where I'm going.
Congratulations about that. I must be honest. You remind me when he's performing. He remind me a lot of Billy Joel. You know that
Oh, yeah, you can say.
reality structure, not commercial, but not like sold out project. If you know what I mean, like a real. I mean, just the way he's talking about Stevie Wonder, right? Elton John. He didn't tell us, oh, I want to be like Usher or like Justin Bieber. So that's good. That's good, I think.
I'm curious to know what everybody's favorite Billy Joel song is.
Well, that scene's from an Italian restaurant. That's not even close. Literally not even close.
You know what? I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Piano Man. Honesty. Honesty is my favorite song from him.
Oh, honesty? Oh,
Honesty.
that's a good one, yeah.
Honesty is my favorite song from him.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's so hard to pick one, but I'd have to say my favorite is "She's Always a Woman."
You guys, I swear to God, you guys both called my ex-girlfriend and asked her what her two favorite songs are, and it's those two.
So,
Well,
Virus, you
The
might
fact I still remember that shows how rent-free she lives. Okay.
Virus, you might remember when they used "She's Always a Woman" in a later episode of The Orville, which is the first time I'd heard it.
yeah. That's the first time you heard it.
It's the first time I'd heard that song. I'm a Billy Joel fan, and it was funny because it came on, and I'm like, "Huh, that sounds like Billy Joel." And then look,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, well, because it is."
I remember because obviously I'm a little older than
Just
you.
a tiny bit.
Yeah, fuck you both. Uh,
What did I
so,
do?
Do please do, Max.
well, the thing is, I'm seeing you both in the screen, so I gotta say too. You know, equality. I don't want, hey, why you fucking somebody? Yeah, anyway. So
I appreciate that.
honestly,
Very
back in the day, honestly, honestly, the song back in the day was a leg opener song. You go and tell the girl, you know what, I've been thinking about you with this song. It was a done deal because the song is just perfect for her to say, like your ex girlfriend. Oh, he believes in our love. Like I said, right?
I,
So
I
thank you, Billy Joe. What about Stevie Wonder? What is your favorite Stevie
oh man,
Wonder
that's
song?
for once in my life. Again, that's an easy. I don't know what it is
Yeah,
about that one. I think it's just I don't know a message that I have yet to live, but I know I will. So I just I go for it.
that's. What about you, Jake?
That's hard, man.
We don't want to know your physical excitation right now. Why are you looking down and saying that's hard, man? What is wrong with you?
Well,
Man,
I mean,
Max beat me to it. I was thinking,
things happen, you know.
Uh, what is the name of the song? Superstition probably is my favorite one because the group that it demonstrate for the time it changed the path of music because he did that. I think that more artists that we even think about are, you know, corrected in their taste by Superstition.
I was gonna say, what is it, Sunshine of My Life, right? But you said Superstition, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, probably.
Oh, that's a song. I thought you were thinking about it. You know what? A lot of people don't know this, and this stupid dorky fact for the fans and the followers. The song Gangster Paradise by Coolio actually is a cover from Stevie Wonder. For nobody, if you guys didn't know that. The name of the song from Stevie Wonder was The Past Paradise. That was the name of the song? I
Pastime
think so.
Paradise, I think.
Pastime Paradise. There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you. I do that all the time, Dan. I remember everything, but I don't know the names. Of course, I'm talking another language. Deal with it. If not, you can go and visit my new podcast in Spanish called Anti Gringos. Sorry. Um, Last but not least, Elton John. This is a tough one. Elton John. I never discovered Elton John, but probably 5 years ago in my life, to be honest. Um, Man, he's gay as fuck. Oh, sorry.
Why do you think I like him so much?
I know it's inhuman. No, but what song is your favorite one?
Ooh, um, geez, man.
I never
I
heard
mean,
that before.
I'll have to, I'll have to go top three with him. I'll go Tiny Dancer, Your Song, and Someone Save My Life Tonight.
Jake,
Might be not a controversial pick, but I feel like it's one of his songs that kind of went by the wayside because I think it was written for a movie. Someday Out of the Blue.
your song.
Yeah.
Don't let the sun go down on me, and I'm still standing.
Ooh.
I'm still
Ooh.
standing. I listened to it once, and I sing that song for a whole month.
I love.
I wake up going, I'm still standing.
I love how the
It's
minute
so
he
cool.
said. I love how the minute he says, "I'm still standing," we both just go, "Ooh." Forgot about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah. You guys watch the movie of his life, the
Rocketman. Yeah, it
musical?
did. It's fantastic.
Fantastic movie. Jake, you having a cultural breach inside your heart if you don't watch that movie. You will cry. You will love it. The guy, the lead actor, like I know his name,
Taron
but
Egerton.
you know the
I'm
name?
Taron Egerton was his name.
I'm not a fan of
Basically.
the
There.
actor. That's why I didn't see it.
Well, let me tell you
You actually
that
kind
he's
of look
such a.
like him. I'm not saying that to be a dick. Like a little bit.
Well, who looks like their biography, man, dude? It's like I just watched the new movie from Michael, whatever his name is, the only Latino in Hollywood. It's called Miles Away, 1,000 miles away. The first astronaut that he was a Latino that flew to space. He doesn't look like him. Nobody looks like nobody.
Are you
No,
saying
I'm
Not even
Remy
saying
the guy
Malek
that.
didn't look like Freddie Mercury?
no. I'm
Not at
saying
all.
Jake.
You didn't
I'm
think
saying
so?
Jake looks like Taron Egerton.
Yeah, you look a little bit like
Listen,
Taylor
listen,
A little
listen,
bit.
listen. We just met. We just met, so I'm gonna let that one slide. I'm just kidding.
Okay. How many
Can
more?
you use your English accent, please?
Well, what Sean you want? You want me Cockney, me kind of, me sloppy one. You want
Yeah,
something more up north in the Newcastle area, or do you want the proper King's English?
James Joyce used to say that the person that you hate the most is the one that relates more to yourself and the vision of your world. So that's what you don't like him.
That's probably true because
Ooh.
all my best friends in my entire life started out we hated each other.
There you go. And you know what? He got a TV show because, as you know, Dan, this podcast is about we do whatever it got to be with entertainment, but whatever we want to fucking talk about, we don't care. Um, he has a show in Apple TV. For all you poor people out there, Apple TV is a device that you pay a subscription. It's not everywhere for
That
everyone.
was directed at
Sorry.
me. I know it was.
It wasn't to you. I said the people out there. You're in here. You're
Fair
in.
enough.
That's anyway.
We all just
So
passes.
it's called the Blackbird. That is a real life story of a guy that he was a drug dealer, a small drug dealer in Chicago, and he get apprehended by the FBI. And then, because he's extremely charismatic, the FBI recruit him to send him to a maximum security prison to convince the mass murderer to tell him where he buried the girls that he killed. Such a good show. It's a mini series of 6, 7 episodes on Apple TV. The Blackbird. Watch it. You will love it.
Are you stoked for the new Napoleon movie that Apple's producing? Really? You're not?
Well, first of all, Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix, he's a really good actor. Don't take me wrong. He's a method actor. He's fantastic, but I don't like the guy. And probably I don't like him. Wait, not because the resemblance of what I just said. No, I don't like him because he plays so good that I actually hate him in Gladiator so much that since I watched Gladiator, he's then he make a cult movie that he pretend it was a documentary that he pretend to retire to become a hip hop artist, and I hate it so much. Him, and then in the Joker, I love the movie, but I hated that Joker. Not in the fact that I don't like the movie. His work is so perfect and so enchanting and so to the limit that I don't like the guy. So when I saw the trailer with Napoleon, I go like, ah, I don't see him as a Napoleon. Obviously, he's gonna win an Academy Award. It's gonna be a fantastic production, awesome. But I just don't like him. River Phoenix, he was the handsome brother.
No, dude, Joker. I thought he was fantastic in, and I mean, there'll never obviously be another Heath Ledger, but like he creates a conversation there. I think, like he creates a conversation there. I know, a lot of people would hear that and be like, "Fuck this guy!" Like, disrespecting Heath. No, he's the man. But I mean, I got to give it to Joaquin there. I mean, that was blew me
Maybe I
away.
just don't like his Latino name.
Well, I also have to think seeing what I saw of Heath Ledger while he was still alive is he probably would have been the first one to be like, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, that's a hell of a performance, you know.
Yeah, he would. I feel like he would for sure. But no,
Yeah,
River Phoenix, and was that him in Stand by Me as a kid?
yeah, of course.
Dude,
Stand by me.
man,
Look at this
he's the man.
kid. He was
Red
the man.
man,
He
he was
died
young.
24 years old. He killed himself outside the Viper Room in California with an
Yeah.
overdose in front of Keanu Reeves, right?
I don't
That was
remember
Keanu
what it
Reeves.
was, but I know, yeah, it was in front of the Viper Room.
Yeah, it was in front of the Viper Room. He was hanging. Uh, he was with the girlfriend. The girlfriend was there, and Keanu Reeves was his best friend. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
that's what the legend says. He was a really good actor. So I don't know. For me, maybe not for me, but I just want to have this conversation. Maybe if his brother didn't die like that, he wouldn't be where he is.
I could see
I'm gonna
that.
Maybe.
I'm gonna not comment on that.
No, I mean, because
I don't.
sometimes, it's a hard thing to leave. I know about it, but losing somebody is close to your family. But sometimes in Hollywood, they need to fulfill the void to feel empathy for the audience.
Well, maybe
So,
that's why he's such a method actor, because they've really examined pain like that, and so he was able to kind of put that to use, and I mean in the Joker for sure as a very conflicted character.
but let me ask you, who's a better actor, Joaquin Phoenix or Angela White when she's doing porn? I can see how she feels everything. I mean, Angela White has something. You can see how she feels how he used the tools that his couple is giving her, right? And she'd go to the annals of cinematography.
I use
Sorry.
I don't watch porn I watch up until they start having
But you
sex,
know
'cause
who
it's the
Angela White
story-
is?
It's the story that I really watch for.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you just
There's
can't help.
nothing.
You just can't help be engaged by the journey that this pizza delivery boy is on.
Yes.
I was gonna say exactly that, Jake. I mean, think about the hustling. It's like go and deliver a pizza and find yourself in that awkward situation. It's not proper.
I just want to know if the pipes ever actually get cleaned. Like, do they need to call someone else?
I'm pretty sure the pizza wasn't real, man.
But to
Sorry.
your point about the pipes, I mean, there can't be a lot of repeat. Oh, maybe there is a lot of repeat business, but like you said, do the pipes actually get clean? That's what I want to know.
Because if
I
they,
know.
I mean, that's a cliffhanger. There's room for a sequel.
Well, because like, what do you think happens? Do you think after they're done, he's just like, well, guess I better get the snake? Like,
That's a good question, actually. Now I know.
Maybe
what I'm
she's
thinking about.
moving after. You
Maybe-
know that
you
all
know
our
what, though?
audience is thinking about porn right now.
you know what though?
Everyone
Maybe
for a second.
you know what. I'm gonna speak to the negligence of that. I hope he has insurance because what if the house has to pass inspection, and he just leaves? Like,
Well, think about it. If the Spectre come, then we have a sequel. I need the license. Anyway,
these
Sorry.
pipes aren't clean.
what are we gonna do with this? Yeah, you know what? I'm not a porn guy. To be honest with you, if I
I'm
were,
not
I
either.
probably would put my life into it and have a studio of porn.
You would.
Right? I'm not.
You would.
Yeah,
I know
I would,
you
but
would.
I do not feel attraction to that. I do not.
I
Is-
know. I don't. I'm not really fond of it either because I've read so many studies about how bad it is for you. Like it actually there are bad psychological effects to it.
Yes, but I
Call me a
think
square.
that's a lie, like
Call
the
me a
Catholic
square.
Church.
Call me a bitch, Max. I like when you call me a bitch.
No. First of all, you're talking to Virus Vox. I don't know who the fuck this Max character you're talking to. I'm just fucking with you. I believe that the science behind the porn that everybody's talking about in the late, probably the last 2 years, is as fake as the Bible.
The science is fake. You're saying?
No. I say that this analysis that's saying that people that watch porn, they demeanors. It sounds like a Catholic or Christianism movement to stop kids to watch porn.
Well, I think they're talking about people that indulge too much, and it's never been easier. But Virus, I have a question for you. So you're saying that if you were in fact a porn guy, you would have your porn professionally lit and on display.
Totally.
That's a How I Met Your Mother joke for the viewers out there.
I know.
I was gonna say
I
you
know,
got
I
it.
know.
I was just making sure people.
Yeah, no, I will, but I don't. Sadly, I'm not. Sadly, I say sadly because I know I could bring a lot of art to the porn.
You
And
could-
I'm not talking about
Pollock,
performing.
like.
I'm talking direction. Talking direction. And this reminds me of an amazing show in HBO that is about a guy that makes magazines and support the idea. Have you guys seen that? To have a porn magazine for men? I mean, for women? Amazing show in HBO. I don't have my computer in front of me. I will look the information. Nina will put it right here. It's a great show. They did 2 seasons. Then COVID stopped it, and that's it. And that will be pretty cool to ask this question. I want to do this for you, Jake. So, do you remember how many shows died with COVID-19?
I don't think I ever knew the number, but a few. I mean, more than a few, quite a few.
I mean, probably 50% of the shows that they were on good track and suddenly bye. Because I don't know if you remember, but every show in Apple TV didn't stop filming. Apple TV took advantage of that. Even my brain is really messed up today. Show about a company that's making a video game, Viking Mystic Quest. Have you seen Mystic Quest?
I've heard of it.
Mystic Quest, a really good show. It's a sitcom, kind of. Even the last episode of season 2, the whole show is on Zoom, like this. The whole show is like that, and it's fantastic. It's a really good but after that, the shows just disappeared. But getting back to Dan and his career, what is next for you, Dan? What is your next step in
Ooh.
the singing area?
Next step. I mean, there are a few different answers to that, but just to keep it short and sweet, got a great producer, just great team around me, whether it's social media manager or manager. Uh, it's all clicking, and so definitely going to be putting some original stuff out there next year, which I just know is really gonna help me a lot.
By the way, for nobody that knows that, Force and Industries Corporation is supporting him with advice every time he needs it.
There is that too. Yeah, Forsen. Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Congratulations on that. We wish you the best on that. I know that you need to go. We say 20 minutes and it's already 30,
Oh,
right?
Has it
But
already been 30 minutes?
with him, yeah.
Wow.
And just for all the people out there, we already talked about him masturbating in the shower at 12. We already talked of him being,
not at 12.
like it or not, part. I don't know. It's already filmed.
At 11. At 11.
Ah, sure. It was 11 p.m. at 12 years old.
I was going to say the man's got to sleep.
Yeah. And more after that. Sorry. Anyway, thank you so much, Dan, for being here. You are the first guest and the godfather, if you will, of this section, pre-cooked.
Ready.
Right? We can wait for you to come out of the oven and be as fabulous and a fantastic artist as you are. We will be waiting and supporting your tracks when they come out.
Here I come. I promise.
That's
In
what
the
you say
shower?
in the shower. Yeah, good one, Jake. Go on. Yeah.
I set you up for that one.
I know. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Dan. Right? You don't hang up, Jake.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan. Right?
All right, you got it, man.
I let you go back to work, man.
Okay, cool, man. I'll text or call you tomorrow. Jake, pleasure
Yeah.
to make your
Pleasure to meet you.
This won't be the last time.
Shake hands.
Look forward to it. Oh,
Shake
yeah.
hands. All right. Thank you, Taryn. I mean, Jake. All
Yeah.
right. Peace, guys.
Peace, bro. Well, that was Dan. We wish him the best in his endeavors in the shower and in the stage. He's a funny guy, man. He's a funny guy.
Very funny. Like, obviously, never mind. That was a stupid question.
Go ahead. Come
I
on.
was
You're not
gonna
gonna let the audience like that.
I was gonna say. I mean, like, well, obviously, like, we're gonna put his socials up and all that where they can find him. And then midway through the thought, I was like, well, that was stupid. Of course.
Yeah, you know what? Of course. Yeah. You know, I will just do this for the fans and followers.
Lovely. Hey, I put all the embarrassing things I say on the internet because I'm big on authenticity. We did an episode of the Average Intelligence podcast where you remember when Trump was getting grief because he said, they have the light and you can maybe put it in the body to kill the virus. I understood what he was going for and everybody lampooned him. So my stupid ass, and Eric even said later, he's like, you pulled the Trump. What I was trying to say is that why are we not working, and maybe we are working on, but I haven't heard of it, why are we not working on a synthetic material to replace lithium in these, lithium batteries? But what I said was, why can't we make lithium in a lab? Dude, the internet skewered me. And rightfully so.
Well,
but what I'm saying, my point is, I could have been a bitch about it and taken the clip down. But I didn't. It's still up there.
There you go. No, that's good. That's part of the internet. That's part. Just embarrass yourselves to get more followers. That's our job.
But you know what's funny? Interesting thing, though, is the few people that did come to my defense in the comments, pretty much all of them were actually chemists or physicists. And they were like, well, I mean, it's possible. We just don't have a way to generate the energy. And they all said basically the same thing. And everybody else is like, you're a retard. You can't do that. It's a base element. It's like, oh my God. But the people that actually came to my defense are the real experts.
So what you're trying to say is your mistake is supported by dorks. Thank you, Jake. Moving to the next step. Like I said, this is the first part that we present pre-cook. right? Next week we're gonna have pre-cook and surviving Hollywood, and hopefully impersonating. We need to find the name for that. Um,
I mean,
almost famous,
you could always.
almost
Oh,
famous, almost
um,
famous.
what did they call it in How I Met Your Mother? Do they call them just doppelgangers or are they specific? I can't remember.
That not just doppelgangers.
Just doppelgangers.
You know what? I like that better than almost famous. That doppelgangers is sounds like a sexual thing, doppelgangers in my brain. But today it's just like that. And you know what?
Maybe you need to
I
watch
don't know.
some porn.
No, bro, I don't like it. I'm visiting my mom and my sister. Are you freaking sicko?
You know, they make porn that isn't just two guys. You know, they make guy and girl
Really?
porn.
Stupid. So
No, I
today's
get it. I
been
get it though. I get it though.
no, it's just it's funny to, and I want to say hello and cheers to everyone that is not American and live in the country. We forget. I've been here for a long, long time, but how hard is to talk in another language the whole day. I'm used to when I'm in back home in LA. I talk in English all the time. My girlfriend is Canadian, right? Uh, you're my friend. I talk in English 90% of the day. Just when I talk to Setse a little bit or to Ego, it's in Spanish. But the rest is in English. The people that work in the company, managers, everything. But when I'm visiting family, I talk in Spanish all the time with them. Even they speak English perfectly. But even so, you didn't. I'm not gonna tell my mom, "Hi, mom. What are we gonna have for breakfast?" And tell me, "What? Who the fuck are you?" Oh, she wouldn't use those words. She will say, "Who the fuck are you, you little cunt?" That's what she will say. But um, now my mom is such a lady. My point is that you get so tired, and sometimes the words doesn't make sense. I do not translate anymore. I just talk. People that follow us know that I just talk, right? Um, I don't have a filter. I remember Sir Charles Barkley, 1993, the big man of rebound, the low boat of whatever name you want to call him. He said, they asked, I don't remember it was Larry Bird or Michael Jordan, what do you think about Charles Barkley? Said the guy doesn't have a filter between his head and his mouth. And that really got stuck with me when I was a kid. Remember, I bought this little book called The Rules of Charles Barkley, making fun of, right? And it was a book this thick, probably 60 pages, and it was just the lines and expression that he said. It was really funny, right? And it was a good reading. And I was a basketball fan. I was a fan of Charles Barkley, so it was a matter of a moment that got tattooed in my head. Um, Next topic, my friend. What is the next topic? You gotta guide me, because guess what? I don't have my phone with me.
Okay, well let me.
Sorry to the audience that we're a little slow. It's been
So
a couple of
we're
good days.
we should be, if I'm reading this right. We're on Entertainment Today, latest news and updates. And
Oh, what you have in mind? There's a lot of things
well,
happening in entertainment.
you mentioned you wanted to talk about AMC stock, so now seems like a good time.
Okay, AMC Stocks. For people that doesn't know, AMC Theaters is the company that owns the movie theaters. The movie theaters, they're in the stock market. They have many shares, but since the coronavirus, so we don't need to edit it. Since the pandemic times, obviously the movie theater went down. It was sadly for me. I try to go to the movies at least 2 times a week. That I went to see the new movie Venice, Crime in Venice, or something like that. With whatever. I'm not gonna go into that yet because I don't remember any name today. Today I'm totally off. Brennan. You know what is the first name?
Brendan Fraser?
Brennan, the
Brennan.
director, English guy that owns the rights for the mystery writer woman 80s something in Venice. Anyway, I'm not gonna go to that. So I went to watch the movie, and I was the only client in a property that has 10 rooms. Watch the movie. When I came out, I asked the guys, "Hey, it's been slow." He told me, "You've been It was 7 p.m. Tell me you've been the only client in the whole day, and it was a Thursday. That being said, that is happening around the nation. AMC, I'm pretty sure the guy that you visit AMC is the one with Nicole Kidman makes the presentation, right? The stock market went to $1 per stock. So in a fantastic move, the people in AMC said, you know what? They talk to the investors, owners, stock owners, and say, we're gonna take 20 of your stock and convert it into one. That will make a reflection that our stock market is in 20. We dilute and generate more. So we go up in everything. Well, they did it, but they didn't expect that actually people didn't react well. And now that stock that it was one that become 20 stocks in 20 just went down to six.
See, when you first said that, I kind of predicted it because, in essence, what you're doing is you're devaluing the currency of the AMC stock.
Yeah, but it's a normal movement in
Yeah,
when the
yeah, yeah,
company
yeah.
makes.
But what I'm saying is, I can see why some people didn't like because if I bought 20 shares of AMC stock and now I have one that today is worth the same value, but if it goes down, I lose money anyway. But now my money avatar is devalued.
Yeah, let me tell you that today when they close ASC theaters, 8.25. So that's a lot of bad because it's supposed to be in 20, right? But Tesla is up 46 points. Well, 0.46. So for people that know, Robinhood markets went down $1.23%. 123%, sorry. So today's been a tough day in the market. I haven't checked this out, but today's a tough day in the market.
Well,
Sorry.
it's and unfortunately we're going to have more because we have an economic policy right now that just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And then coupled with the fact that I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. Is a lot of movies that are coming out today are either major like huge successes or complete busts, and there doesn't seem to be that in between anymore. But even the movies that are blockbusters, they're spending so much money that to even break even, like some of these movies need to make like $1 billion.
I think that they need to change the path, and because you make money for the movie theaters, now you're making movie and streaming, and if they don't are careful and change the whole algorithm, it's gonna happen like Spotify.
Well, geez,
Spotify,
it's
the artist doesn't make money anymore. The
well,
artist
gee,
doesn't make money.
well, geez, who would have thought that if you and I'm looking at you, Disney, because you started this stupidity. Who would have thought that if you do a simultaneous release in a movie theater and online after a lot of people were already scared to go outside, so they have even more incentive to not go to the movie theater, but you do a simultaneous release, like, and you're shocked that people aren't paying more to go to the theater? Like, I'm weird. I prefer the theater. I will pay to go, but a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I can watch it at home for my $5.99, $6.99 a month, whatever." Most
Ten
people,
ninety nine a month.
yeah, most people don't care that much to go to the theater. Now, again, I'm weird. I would prefer to watch a movie in
I'm
the
weird
theater.
too.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
mean, we pay premium to be able to do that. Most people aren't like that. So I can't imagine. I don't understand how they could actually be legitimately surprised because think about it like this. Well, sporting events are seeing the same thing. Sporting events, even pro
but they're
wrestling.
live. But like theater is dying because they don't want to jump to streaming. Pro wrestling, they have live and they have streaming,
But
but you cannot go to watch any. I don't know. Can you go and watch every fight in the past in one app?
it
If I want,
depends. Well, no,
you
not
see,
even the WWE network really because it's hard to find.
like I say, it's like the NFL Network doesn't allow you to watch the game in 1996 of Pittsburgh versus. You can't.
Well,
So
and
they're
that's
protecting.
and that's a little bit different too. But like for example, so pro wrestling's a little bit different, but it kind of works. So I'll give you the condensed version. So what they're finding is not only are I was just listening to Jim Cornette. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was talking about this today. WWE's main competitor, AEW, is running into ratings drops because basically the big reason is because they recently fired their biggest star with cause. But their ratings are slowly dipping, some are drastically dipping, slowly dipping, and even their pay-per-view buys are down because they are formulating their show based solely on television ratings. And the problem with that is you might see spikes because a talent is appearing this week, so you'll see a spike in your ratings. But the way they're doing their storytelling is not encouraging people to. It's not must see TV. Yeah, it's not encouraging people to watch week to week, and it's also this is the big one, which AEW's business model is a little different, but until very very recently, the number one or the two revenue generators of a pro wrestling show were live events, which were untelevised, but people's wrestling's coming to your town, come and see all your favorite superstars, blah 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 blah, and pay-per-view buys. Well, WWE doesn't even do pay-per-views anymore. They have it all on a streaming service, and that cut a lot of the talent off at the knees because they don't get those pay-per-view buy bonuses.
Yeah.
But AEW still does pay-per-views. Now, barring their second most recent show, the one they did in the UK, which broke all kinds of records, there's some controversy, but it's basically the biggest pro wrestling event in attendance that's ever happened before, and it did pretty good pay-per-view numbers. But the pay-per-view immediately after that, which they did 1 week later, that was stupid. I called them out on that on Down the Middle. It's like and their pay-per-views are $50. That's pretty salty for most. Yeah. So not only is your story, which their pay-per-view All Out, the most recent one, the card sucked. I mean, we tore it apart because it's literally like they forgot they had a pay-per-view scheduled for Labor Day weekend because they had All In the week before, and it seemed like they were, oh shit, we got to throw this together. So nothing was built up, no stories were being told, and everything was literally thrown together in a week's worth of television. And then they were wondering why pay-per-view buys were down.
I got two questions for you.
Yeah.
Who's the star that they fire?
CM Punk.
Why they fire him?
Oh God. So
in a nutshell, just.
So the condensed version is last year, again, during their All Out pay-per-view afterwards. So first of all, AEW does this really annoying thing where they do media scrums after pay-per-views, which is stupid. It's a fake sport. Or a press conference or a fake sport.
I know. It's a soap opera with hitting each other. And that's part of the magic.
Yeah, but then they act like it's a real sport at the end. But anyway, so CM Punk, actually, I'll send you a link because it's hilarious, because CM Punk is literally calling out some of the executive vice presidents because they went on social media and said shit about him, blah, blah, blah. The owner of the company is sitting right next to him and like a complete bitch lets CM Punk go on this whole tirade, tearing the EVPs, new assholes, blah, 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 blah. And he sits there and lets it happen. And then after Punk was done, he goes back to his locker room and the EVPs come in and there's a physical altercation.
Oh, wow.
So Punk gets suspended, the EVPs get suspended, but Punk also had gotten injured, so he was out for almost a year. He comes back, they start a whole new show on Saturday nights that basically surrounds CM Punk. At one of those tapings, there's a younger wrestler named Jack Perry, who's actually Luke Perry's son, and he wanted to do an angle involving using real glass, and he was told by multiple people, no, you're not going to do that, it's not worth the risk, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't taking no for an answer, so finally, allegedly, somebody asked Punk to talk to him. Punk said, no, we don't do that on Saturday nights. So fast forward to All In the UK, on the pre-show, mind you, on the free show before the pay-per-view to try to get people to buy, they have a car out there. Jack Perry is doing a match where he loses, by the way. And he does a spot where he's thrown into a car windshield and the glass breaks. But before this happens, Jack Perry knocks on the glass and says, see that? Real glass, cry me a river. CM Punk goes on next on the first show of the actual pay-per-view. So apparently, when Jack Perry comes back through, there was a physical altercation where apparently Punk put him in a guillotine. There was a scuffle and it got broken up. Well, after this happened, the owner of the company, Tony Khan, puts out a statement, which a lawyer wrote for him, where basically he said, "It's the first time in my 30 plus years of going to a wrestling show where I was afraid for my safety and I was afraid for my life." And I'm like, really?
What, dude?
Yeah, it's like he came off like a total bitch, but it's like, it's your fault, dude, because you didn't. Now, like, was Punk in the right? No, but I kind of understand where he was coming from because, in his words,
And they're fighters, dude. Even if it's real or not, they're fighters. They're gonna fight in the locker room and inside, and they're gonna. It's part of the thing.
just like any other sport, any other media, it happens, right? And let's be real, it wasn't a fight, it was a glorified shoving match. But basically, because this keeps happening, instead of reprimanding, which actually Jack Perry got suspended, so he hasn't been on TV for a while, but they fired CM Punk. But it's worth noting, CM Punk was the reason that their Wednesday show got over 1 million viewers for the first time since their debut episode in 2019. First and
Wow.
only time that happened. They built an entire show on Saturday nights around CM Punk. He was their number one merch mover by far.
I'm not a fan, and I know who CM Punk is.
Exactly. He moved the needle. He was one of the few things that legitimately moved the needle for them. And now they fired him.
And where he's going.
My best guess, probably nowhere, because he left WWE because
Yeah,
he was just
started there.
he was just fed up with it, and he was gone from wrestling for 7 years, and he was convinced they were trying to get CM Punk back in 2019 when they started the company, and he just wasn't interested. Blah 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 blah. They convinced him to join, and then all this happens. I wouldn't be surprised if he just hangs his wrestling boots up and says, "Fuck it, I'm done."
How old is he?
I think he's like 44 now.
Yeah, it's time to go. You remember that fantastic movie 2008, The Wrestler,
Loved
with
it.
Mickey Rourke?
Great movie.
Fantastic. Whatever that haven't watched that movie, you gotta watch it. It's one of the best movies I ever seen in that genre. Obviously, the writing is fantastic, and Marisa Tomei looks great. I love Marisa Tomei.
Right?
Call me
No,
crazy,
dude, I
but
get.
Marisa Tomei looks great in everything she does.
And she got hotter over time.
Yeah, yeah. She's. I mean, she's a great actress. Of course, I didn't even like her in My Cousin Vinny. It wasn't in my radar, but when I saw her again in The Wrestler,
Yeah,
she's
she's
really. And she's
absolutely
extremely
stunning.
talented. Like, I don't know why you don't like the actor that I told you about.
Colby
The
Smulders.
no, I don't know. I remember the guy from the. Finally, my computer turned on, so I was looking to everything. Um, so that's what I talk about AMC. The movie that I was telling you about was the Kenneth Brennan. The movie's called Hunting in Venice. He's Hercule Poirot. You know the Hercules Poirot. For sorry guys, Poirot. Hercules Poirot is a detective that is reading. It's like the James Bond from Agatha Christie, like the Sherlock Holmes. So he's supposed to retire, and Kenneth Brennan, as smart as he is, as a fantastic theater actor that he's obviously a superstar, he bought the rights for Hercules Poirot. Every movie that he's done in the last 10 years, probably more, is Hercules Poirot, the character. So the new one is Hunting in Venice. Really good movie, great production, great acting. Everything happening inside a house. That is something that he does a lot because Agatha Christie used to write like that. And for me, Kenneth Brennan is bringing theater to life in a movie. The acting is really good. Um, the cast is really diverse without being forced. Um, is the woman from Yellowstone that I think is living her best moment. It wasn't for the strike. The name of her is Kelly Riley. Kelly Riley. Uh, we have Jordan Dorman. That when I saw him, he looks like the Superman, but thinner. The face looks really similar. Tina Fey is there, and you're expecting her to be a funnier character, but no, she does really good. And of course, Kenneth Branagh, and he directs. So it's always a guarantee. So if you guys like Sherlock Holmes, Hercule, that kind of movie that is like playing Clue in a movie, you will love this one. That's what it's about. And it's a good movie. And I got the pleasure to one of the actresses that they're in that movie, actually Emma Laird. Uh, she contacted me a long time ago on LinkedIn, saying, "Hey, can you help me out?" She didn't have a visa back in the day, blah 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 blah. But now she's doing a movie in that level. So congratulations to her that she's
Very,
doing that.
very cool. Are you familiar with what's going on with Podcast One and Cast Media and their
No,
controversy?
no,
Okay,
please
so
go ahead.
again, condensed version. So, are you familiar with Podcast One as a company?
Yeah,
I was going to say, I don't know anymore. At one point, they were the largest podcast network, which essentially what they were doing is they would kind of like what the Arte network does, but they had more of a hand in it where they would basically, they could help produce shows, but they lined up advertisers for podcasters, essentially is what they did. But they produced a lot of shows too. They recently sold the company. Now, this is after a lot of controversy because a lot of, and very well known, like Theo Vaughn, the Jim Cornette Experience, Brendan Schwab, and all his podcasts. Like, there were a lot of people who were saying they weren't, at first, they were getting paid late, and then they weren't getting paid at all for their advertising royalties. And basically, they're being accused of, I mean, they're being accused of taking all the money and not paying the talents, but then they're also being accused of because all these shows were offered a deal where they would be given stock in the new company when Cast Media was sold, but a lot of them were told they had to hold the stock for 2 years, and they just had their IPO, and from opening to close that day, the stock went down 50%.
Jesus, that's tough, man.
But they couldn't even unload it when it was high. The ones that took the deal, a lot of them didn't take the deal, and they're in a class action and all that. And there's going to be
Do
some.
you know how many podcasts they have?
It was in the
A
hundreds.
180.
I
I
thought.
can deal with four. I'm trying to convince you to have the fifth one, and we can even handle this.
I
But
thought. I
actually,
thought it was more.
180 podcasts, man. That's 24/7. I know everyone does it by itself, and they're the distribution, and they were getting the everything. I know, but to be honest, I've never been a fan of podcast one. I'm more
I.
a podcast two guy.
Brian
But
Last already made that joke.
really, well,
Yeah.
fuck him.
You'd like him,
I
actually. I think you'd like him. Dude, I
I
don't.
probably him. I probably will. I probably will. Um, recommendations,
All
my
right,
friend.
I got some. I
Because
got some.
again, we're gonna have a short one. We're already in the 2 hours and something.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You go first.
All right, so these are all kind of related. So the first one, I actually haven't watched it yet, but I already know it's going to be good. Netflix just released a documentary that's based on a book that's on my reading list. It's called Ordinary Men. It's basically a documentary about a squad of German policemen during the Second World War who were sent to Poland to, I mean, essentially perpetrate the Holocaust. What's
Mm,
interesting about these guys is they were all too old to have been brainwashed into the Nazi party, like as the Hitler Youth. They were too old to go through that. So these were not people that were like blindly loyal to the Nazi party. They were loyal to Germany, obviously, but they weren't brainwashed. And these were ordinary police officers. And the crazy part is they were all told from the very beginning that if they wanted to go home, they could at any time. I think all of them, I might be misremembering, but at least the vast majority of them stayed. And I first heard about the book through Jordan Peterson,
no
who talks.
spoilers. No spoilers.
I don't know, but what's interesting though is
But you sound like you just watched it.
I haven't yet, but
Yeah.
I know what it's about because it comes. Jordan Peterson recommends it in his book and in a lot of lectures. But what's interesting though is a lot of because it's all based upon their private writings and then just things that like reports and whatnot. Almost all of them stated the reason that they stayed is because they didn't want to abandon uh, abandon their friends and their compatriots to perpetrate the horrors on their own.
Wow. Sounds
which
tough, but good recommendation.
yeah.
Netflix, I got a recommendation that you want to do Netflix. I got you one. The Birdcage Barcelona. Remember the movie produced by Sandra Bullock?
Hmm.
They just released Birdcage
Oh,
Barcelona.
you mean Bird Box? Yes.
Bird Box, sorry, Bird Box. Do you
I
remember the original one?
I,
It's
wa-
fantastic.
I watched Birdcage. Birdcage. I thought it was a sequel to the Birdcage for a second. I watched Bird
Yeah.
Box Barcelona.
Don't say anything. Don't spoilers. Because I haven't seen it, but I know it's gonna be good. It's the same production team. Sandra Bullock is freaking fantastic when it comes to be a producer. Something about her that many people might don't know. The only movie that she did that I recall that wasn't produced by her and supervised by her was Speed.
Hmm.
That's the only one. After that, she grabbed her money and instead of doing the Hollywood thing of give me more, she opened her production house and everything else she's involved. So everything goes to her, and that's really good. I'm gonna do something different for the next recommendation. It's gonna call the anti-recommendation, the Equalizer 3. There's bad movies,
And then
and
there's
the
Equalizer 3.
Equalizer. I can't believe what I went to watch. Uh, it's the same story as always, but now they took it to a small place in Italy. The only actor that you know is Denzel Washington. The rest are Italian actors and David Demon. Everyone else, well, Dakota Fanning is there, but she passes like she could be Sarah Smith from Oklahoma. Nothing else. Dakota Fanning grew up and destroyed her career. She's supposed to stay small, but it's a bad movie. I mean, I don't. I wanted to say that it was as bad as the number two, but it's worse. Equalizer, eh? Equalizer 2, bad. Equalizer 3 sucks. So my anti-recommendation for the movies is that, but in the good spirit of not criticize what people are doing, uh, I don't know if we talk about this. Gran Turismo. Have you seen Gran Turismo?
No, but I'm intrigued because I'm not particularly into racing nor hardcore video racing video games, but it looks really good.
Did you like the movie Rush?
I don't think I saw it.
Running Cars, the life of Ayrton Senna and his nemesis that they were friends. This movie is such a good, felt hard movie with a heart. Highly recommended to everyone. It's my recommendation for the movie. I wanted to do the anti-recommendation with Equalizer because it was just a waste of 2 hours and 30 minutes of my life.
So
Right?
you wanted to equalize the
It,
recommendations.
I want to take them into a Gran Turismo thought. And yeah, Gran Turismo, an amazing movie. Great. The cast is new, some of them, right? But it's really good. Highly recommend them for this weekend before they take it off. It was released a couple of weeks back, so hurry and watch it, please.
So what's really funny is I kind of have it's not an anti-recommendation, but it's kind of an anti-recommendation.
Yeah,
Um, like there's movies that are sad, and then there's movies that are just fucking depressing. Um, this is one I've only watched it twice. I watched it once because I saw a trailer and I like historical movies, so I watched it, and then I watched it again because I was doing a video for my other channel, and I was like I gotta rewatch it so it's fresh in my mind. But I'm not. Both times I had to take a break because this movie
really?
it's so good, but it's so good because it's so historically authentic. It's based on true events, but they do it with fictional characters. So and it stars Christian Bale. Speaking of Batman, the movie is called Flowers of War. It's about the Japanese invasion of Nanking, which we all know what it's referred to historically, but YouTube doesn't like that word, so we'll leave it at that. This is a movie where, so disclaimer, if you have ever been victimized in any way or the victim of abuse in any way, I don't recommend you watch this alone
Wow,
because
really that hard, man? I mean, just for you to say that you need to take breaks, that's impressive. Gotta be really tough.
well, and so the movie is just gut punch after gut punch, and then you see. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I will. I'll just forewarn you. If sad movies really bum you out, like I implore you, I think it's important for people to watch this movie. It's a Chinese Hollywood co-production. Very, very well done. Very historically
What is the
authentic.
name again?
It's called Flowers of War. It stars Christian Bale, and then she's famous in China. I can't remember her name though. But it tells basically a dramatized story of Minnie Vautrin, who was she was a missionary, but she was a school mistress in Nanking, and because of her actions, she probably saved, I don't know, about 300 people. Very, very brave. I'm going to be doing a video on her within the next year sometime. But the thing about this movie is you're never convinced that it's going to be a happy ending per se, but there's hope. And then at the very end of the movie, it's just like one final gut punch with a knife, and they just twist it, man. So even the ending of the movie is, it's not even bittersweet. It's just such a fucking downer. But that's how it was, and that's why I highly recommend people see it. So it's a recommendation, but and don't feel ashamed if you need to pause and take a break because it's intense.
So thank you for our recommendation and such a nice explanation. You fucking psychologist, pussy motherfucker. Let people get sad. I'm just kidding.
Oh no,
No,
you will get sad.
oh, I will. I will try to avoid it. Thank you very much.
Good luck.
um, my next recommendation: Netflix is doing something really good. Finally, took them a while. If you remember, Netflix was in the down, nothing but One Piece. I
Really?
wait. Have you seen it? Have you watched it?
The
I never
Netflix
been
one?
a fan. I never been a fan of the cartoon at all. I knew about it. It wasn't my thing. I was too old for it, but I knew about it. Never watched. Probably watched 2 episodes. But when I went, I got a recommendation from my stepdaughter Haley. She wanted to watch it with me, and then first of all, I realized that the lead actor is Mexican. So good, Iñaki Godoy, and he's playing Monkey D. Luffy. And I start watching it. The production looks like a movie. The special effects are perfect, and when the guy stretched himself, is perfect. If you like One Piece, the show, you would not be disappointed of this because it's a perfect replica for the fans. In the effects, they moved the story a little bit. Obviously, they develop the story a little more, but highly recommend it. If you like special effects, if you want to see something totally new, One Piece has a big following at the cartoon. This one is not bad at all. I highly recommend it, man. I will give him an 8 from 10. I'm in episode 2 though.
Really? Really?
I'm surprised of the characters. They're well, they look alike, and I love when they look alike.
I've seen some of the videos, so I mean it looks like they got dead ringers, but here's the thing. I think One Piece is probably the most overrated anime in history. I don't get it. I don't get why people love it. I think it's way too long. I think the art style is a joke. But
Really? I
yeah,
think that they changed the path. Everyone was doing the style, and they came back and redo their vision.
I mean fair enough, fair enough. It does kind of harken back to the days of Osamu Tezuka, the godfather of comics in
The
Japan.
Godfather coming, yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
So I guess in that respect, it does kind of harken back to it. But I don't know. I was just never a fan of One Piece. I know people love it, but I didn't get it. So maybe the Netflix show will change my mind.
Probably because that's what happened to me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I never liked the anime. I feel I was too old to watch a stupid One Piece guy with a pirate. But this one, the fighting scenes, the character look alike. I enjoy when I can go to my phone and I can put characters who is who. They look alike, and I'm probably unbiased. I mean, sorry, a little biased. The actor being Latino as the lead actor is something good. But remember, people complain, people go and do protests. Latinos, we don't. So for every lead character that you see Latino, is 2,000 that didn't even make it to the final round of the casting. So that made me real happy. Any other recommendation for today?
Yep, I got my weird one, which ties into Ordinary Men and uh, indirectly Flowers of War. But this book right here, Jordan Peterson,
Okay.
12 Rules for Life. I'm rereading it because I got his newest one, but I wanted to refresh myself before I read the new one. It can be a tough read for some people. It's not super difficult, like it's not a textbook, but I know I've recommended this to a lot of people, and some people say they have to read it in spurts, which is fine. Which I recommend reading it in spurts because there's a lot in here. It's a lot of thought provoking stuff, and I think a reason a lot of people don't like Jordan Peterson is because he makes you ask yourself very uncomfortable questions. Like probably his most notorious one is like his one of his more notorious statements was that if you were living in Germany in the 1930s, on a balance of probabilities, you probably would have been a Nazi. You
Oh
know,
yeah, that
just
could be. Yeah, but he's right though.
well, but what it really ties into, and this is the part that really makes people uncomfortable, because we would all like to think, right? Like, yeah, you're living in Germany in the 1930s, you're a party member, you're in there, and then you get a job at this prison camp. You think it's going to be a cushy job, and then before you know it, you're seeing a lot of shit happen. And he basically says it's because a lot of people would like to think, oh, I would never do such a thing, and he's like, really, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
That you're such a paragon of virtue that you would have had no part of it. He's like, whatever, you would have been all in it and you would have loved it.
Oh, or maybe not, or not enjoy it, but you don't quit. I mean, nowadays, did you see the circumstance of the cop in Seattle that run over a girl and he was discussing with his. I
Yeah,
mean, if we looked at that event in 50 years, or the how many people die for race attacks with the police and all that, what are they gonna say? No. Anyway, sorry. My recommendation for young artist of the and this a good thing is not weird, but it's an old one. 1916 is when it was written. James Joyce is the writer. A portrait of an artist as a young man. Every artist out there need to read that. It will understand it better, and it will help them to endure the endeavors of dreaming high. And it's a really good reading. It's not a thick book, something good to read about. Um, is his first novel, right, from James Joyce. So it's really cool. Right now, James Joyce is not for everyone, right? But give it a Joyce. It's about his alter ego in the intellectual awakening, right, of the story name of the Greek mythology, consummate craftsman. It's an artistic book, people, right? So hopefully you guys like it. That's might be my last recommendation of the day. Thank you very much, brother.
thank you again. It's always fun. I look forward to Tuesday nights.
Yeah, me too. It's something.
Well,
It's
and
something
it
to
just
do.
really people don't know we record on Tuesday nights.
I always looking forward to our podcast. It's
Yes,
really
I'm
entertaining.
always looking forward to the podcast. It's a lot of fun. But
Thank.
I warned you, I can talk for hours.
I know. Thank you, Jake. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for our guest Dan, and see you next week. Toon Talk 2.0 out.
I have a dream